Hello friends, for today's video I wanted to go through some video games that I've been playing recently and kind of do a first impressions and a wrap-up style video for those. By the way, my dog Luna is right by me, so if you heard her make kind of a loud, grumbly sound, that's what that was. Really quick, I just want to say that I have played through the Final Fantasy XVI demo. It has definitely met and exceeded my expectations. I already had really high expectations to start with, but I am going to talk about that much more in depth on Friday. I'll do a whole dedicated video about just the demo. It will be a non-spoiler first impressions, so if you are hesitant to pick up the game but you just want to know some general thoughts, then be on the lookout for that. It should be going up on Friday, and also likely a lot of Fridays for the next few weeks will be Final Fantasy themed. So if you're a big fan of Final Fantasy like me and you feel like geeking out over Final Fantasy, I'll be sure to make a playlist for those. But anyway, getting into it, the first game that I wanted to talk about is one that I've unexpectedly been playing a lot of recently. I wasn't really planning on picking this game up, but my friend is a big fan. A couple of my friends are fans, and so I was like, all right, I'll give it a try. And that would be Diablo 4. So my friend that is very knowledgeable, he's basically a Diablo encyclopedia, would be my friend Roger. He does have his own channel, so I'll have him linked. And he was trying to get my husband and I, because he's friends with both of us, to pick this one up because it's something that he's loved for years. He's been a big fan of the Diablo games for a really long time. And he was saying that it's great because you can do couch co-op. And it's also great because you don't have to worry about the couch co-op part of the game being a little clunky or not very fun because of the way that it separates the screens. You can't see the full view of everything. He was saying it's actually a really good couch co-op. And I have really been wanting to play more co-op style games. And I know a lot of times you can get those with shooters, but I'm not really a big shooter person. I'm not really big into the giant MMO RPGs or anything like that. So that's why I primarily, when I play co-op on something, it's Ghost. I've talked about many times that Ghost of Tsushima's Legends mode is so much fun, but we've been playing that a lot for years at this point, and so we've played a little bit of Fall Guys. I've mentioned on this channel that it was really fun to play Elden Ring together after I played through the game. My husband joined in, and our friend would play with us. And so those have been really fun, but I am excited at the idea, or I was excited and have since been excited to continue playing Diablo because it really does do the multiplayer component exceptionally well. So the couch co-op portion of the game, because it kind of gives you almost a bird's eye view, like an angled bird's eye view of things, then your other player just pops up on the screen and it's not split screen. You see the same amount. And it's funny because if you want, let's say the person next to you is playing, but then they need to get up and do something, you can just run around if you want and keep going, and it will have that player's character follow you. So that's actually kind of cool. You don't have to worry about, oh, I can only go so far. And then the way that it ties them in with the gameplay, it will make it so that you, let's say there's loot to pick up or there's a treasure chest, it will have player 1's items and player 2's items and their gold. So you don't have to worry about, well, who's going to get this item, or I only got experience from this, but you got experience from that. You both gain experience, and the more players you have, the more that it will actually make the difficulty higher of the enemies you're fighting. So the multiplayer component is very, very well done, and it was well done immediately. I think some games have a multiplayer component that comes in later, but this one, it's right off the bat. And story-wise, I couldn't care less what the story is. I'm a big story-driven gamer, but this one, I don't really care about the story. Is it the most intricate of actual gameplay? Not necessarily. Where the intricacies come into play is actually through the leveling up system, at least from what I've found so far, and a lot of it I would have never known if not for my friend guiding us through a lot of like, oh, don't sell stuff, salvage stuff, or yeah, you want to make sure that if you do this, then that's going to make it so that, and he'll give us links to certain websites that show you, depending on the build that you want, the best way to, because there's a whole bunch of different ways to level up your character and different abilities depending on what kind of build you want. I would not know what to do with that. And it would seem that once you reach certain levels, the game opens up and that it gets to be a little bit more complex. There's more to it, so that as you continue to play the game, there is a new gaming experience offered to you. So I really like all of that. Is this going to be a top 5 games of all time sort of game? No, but when it comes to playing with other people, yes, because I just haven't found too many other games that are that fun and that convenient to play alongside your friends. So I've been really enjoying this one. It's a lot of fun, and I don't want to throw my remote at the screen the way I do with things like Elden Ring. Next up, we have a game that is not new, but I checked it out after seeing a trailer that I thought was breathtaking. So I'm not sure how to pronounce the game's name. I looked into it. Some people say it's Gris, some people say it's Gris, but it looks like Gris, spelled Gris. And this is one where it is very low stakes. There's not really a means of dying in this game, but you just sort of navigate in a side-scroller fashion this beautiful watercolor landscape. You're solving rather simplistic puzzles in this game. And I have just enjoyed the minimalistic storytelling of this, the beauty of the scenery, the background, the music is phenomenal. I'm always listening for the music. As somebody who majored in music, played in orchestras, it's something that's always something I'm paying attention to. So the music in this is stunning. Everything about this game is just a visual masterpiece. It's so great for the ears. Story-wise, like I said, it is minimalistic, so it seems like the kind of game that you sort of interpret as you go. It can probably mean a lot of different things to different people. And I think that a lot of individuals probably come away from this game with their own view. If I understand correctly, you will get another scene if you do a lot of the bonus, because you don't have to do everything as you're going through these puzzles, but if you do, there will be a bonus scene that I think sort of recontextualizes what you've seen so far. And I like that idea, and I like the idea that on our first playthrough, because we haven't completely finished the game yet, but I like the idea that our first playthrough we might have a certain view, and then that will change as we go. It gives me a little bit, even though the games are completely different, that aspect of the game reminds me a little of Nier Automata, which I need to replay because I didn't go through and play a bunch of the different endings. I've only beaten it once, and I know for a fact that it recontextualizes your perception once you've played it more. So I need to go through that one again and play it again. But either way, Gris, however you say it, looks amazing. And the game that I mentioned, the reason that I checked this out is because this company had a trailer recently released for a game I think called Neva. It looks so good. I basically cried. I didn't actually, but I was so close to crying. I watched the trailer multiple times, and every time I'm like, gosh darn it, this trailer. So I'm really excited for that game to come out, and that's why I went back and played this one, and I've been really liking it. And then last, this is the game that I was planning to pick up this quarter, and I have played it a tiny bit, but I want to be transparent in saying that I am not getting the actual Bloodborne experience the way other people get the Bloodborne experience. So I did jump into Bloodborne, and my friend, he was telling me, hey, just like in Elden Ring, we can play together, but it's a little different because it's not as easy to invite people to your game as it is in Elden Ring. So let me just guide you to where you need to go so that then you can invite me in. And I was like, got it. And so we did that. He hopped into the game, and I just follow him around, and he was killing most of the stuff. I was just basically staying out of the way. And I would fight a little bit, and if I managed to stun something with the pistol, I was like, yeah. But I'm not really getting the experience, and I know that. But it is kind of fun either way because I'm getting to appreciate the scenery of the game. So there's something to be said of the level design of Bloodborne, because even though the little bit I played, I didn't get all that far, there is something to having an area that you can't access yet, but then as you come around to a different area, you can unlock that gate. Now this is opened up to you. Oh, and now you can go down this ladder over here, which then leads you to this almost sewer area, and then you can see a full view of the city through almost an alley. And just that sort of, those details are things that I really appreciate. Even though it is an older game, the attention to detail is fantastic. But I know that I'm not getting the full gaming experience. And my husband was teasing me because when he picked up Elden Ring, I've said many times here on this channel that he picked it up after I'd already beaten it. And so I would play with him, and then we joked that I was his bodyguard because I was doing exactly what I was describing my friend doing for me. And so now I'm getting the Bloodborne experience in the way that my husband got the Elden Ring experience. So it's a fun way to get through the game without getting really angry. But feel free to judge me for not really playing Bloodborne. But anyway, it is really great. I did like it as I played through a little bit of the beginning, and I do plan to eventually play more. We've just been having so much fun with Diablo. And that's about it for now. Let me know your thoughts on the games that I've talked about. Have you been playing any Diablo? Have you played Bloodborne and Gris? But let me know your thoughts on that. Are you going to be picking up Final Fantasy XVI? I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.